Hello and welcome back once again to the single malt review. Bit of a chill out for the last whiskey. I call it whiskey. It is not of the day. We've had a hard afternoon reviewing the doing the devil's work, putting scores on all these whiskies. But now
also distilling a heck load of rum.
Yes, indeed. As we've actually done honest to goodness work today. We have manufactured something which we will feature later on when it's ready. But
so
more on that later.
Time for a beer,
Yeah.
but in true single malt review style, it is still whiskey adjacent.
Yeah.
Not just because there is a lot of malt, there is even peated malt. There are also whiskey barrels.
And hey, it's 10%. It's 1/4 of the way to being whiskey, as it is.
We have here, it comes from New Zealand's Behemoth Brewing Company. This is a Stay Classy Kentucky. This is a bourbon barrel aged Imperial Scotch ale. It's kind of a sequel, as it were, to a similar Anchorman / Ron Burgundy themed Imperial Scotch ale, not barrel aged, simply called Scotchy Scotch, which Behemoth put out previously. This is basically that, but it's been in a bourbon barrel for a significant time.
I've just noticed you're looking particularly radiant, as I did not close the curtain properly, and our winter afternoon sun is coming in. But never mind, I'll just sit here in the gloom.
We get some of that ambient sunset glow.
Professionalism, not what we go for the last whiskey of the day. If you see us pouring beer, then you should expect this complete disregard of quality.
So the underlying beer here is a Scotch ale. In this case, it has some amount of peated malt, and also I believe it was some German style Rauch.
Yeah, some Rauch,
smoked.
Which is
Smoked beech. Rauch simply German for smoke, but in this case, beech smoked malt as well to make a Scotch ale, which has then gone into bourbon barrels for an unspecified amount of time. This is in fact the first barrel-aged beer that Behemoth have done. Other New Zealand brewers have done amazing things in bourbon barrels in the past, so my hopes are high. I've never had a disappointing Behemoth beer. It is some excellent stuff, some solid workhorse beers, and also some amazingly innovative improvisational beers.
Almost everything. Whoever does the can artwork or bottle artwork for Behemoth does a lot of it, because Behemoth, if they had a theme, aside from making great beer, it's just belting out a new beer practically every fortnight, and it has done extremely well for them, so long may they continue.
Now, for only 2,400 half-litre bottles of this beer, so 1,200 litres of it, which is, I think, roughly 2 or 3 full bourbon barrels.
Yeah, I think they're maybe on the 3 end more than the 2, but it's a fair number. Goodness knows where they came from. They're probably from
Kentucky, certainly.
Yes.
Bourbon barrels.
I was thinking more like who they came from. Are they Turkey? Are they Beam? Are they Woodford? Who knows? But never mind.
Possibly a degree of granularity you won't be able to taste. Look at it. That is a really...
It's a lovely colour.
It's a very dark red / light brown, and it is quite radiant with that sunset sun streaming through it.
Yeah, now it's catching it.
I am really in this.
You really are. Soak it up.
Take that camera.
Take that video quality. Take that internet.
Oh wow, that smells good though.
So,
richly sweet. Some good wood.
That smoke really comes through.
Yeah.
And it's not the peat, it's the beech. It is that the raspberry note is really coming through. I don't know if they've used if they've got the peated malt straight over from Germany, or whether they've used native beech. We've got quite a lot of beech of our own in New Zealand, but it's a bit it's in the beech family, but it's a wee bit different from European beech.
We certainly have our own peat in New Zealand. It's likely they'll be used.
Yes, we do. I think, and I'm not being facetious, I think it would be a heck of a lot easier just to import a few sacks of the relevant malts and get to work. Which I think is more Behemoth's model. I think if you had gone to the astonishing amount of effort of actually smoking and peating your own malt, which they've only just built their own brewery, I'm sure they don't have a malting floor somewhere. I'm pretty sure they've imported this grain as is and worked with it. So.
Oh yes, Paul John in India do both for some of their peated expressions. Sometimes it's imported peated malt, sometimes it's imported peat used for malting their own barley.
Holy goodness. Have you tasted this?
Holy crap, I have now.
This is the driest 10% beer I have tasted in my life.
I'm getting a lot of upfront sweetness there. I've got the initial comparison is a big old bite of hot, warm, spicy, buttered Jamaican-style ginger cake. That is amazing.
That is really weird how
That
like
is
how sticky this
that is
isn't.
some spicy goodness, though.
Yeah, this is a fermentation miracle.
Ooh, yeah.
Yeah, up front I get that tender dry oak, like wood shavings almost, and an enormous amount of, and it's still the beech smoke, that beech smoke malt.
Wow. I'm getting a very different experience.
It's savoury too, real tip of the tongue
Yeah.
saltiness. I suppose it segues into that sweetness by presenting as sort of a salt caramel, like a peanut brittle.
There's some spice and butter going in with that. Yeah.
Holy cow, that's good. This is, I'm not sure if it's tradition, but there's more than one bourbon barrel aged beer that comes out in New Zealand. If you're watching locally, then you will remember the famous Bastard Rye from Garage Project, which sort of set the whole thing rolling.
Well, you might not remember that because that was $70 a bottle.
It
so
was.
Not a lot of people bought it.
Yeah,
We chipped in on a bottle and shared it. Like a bunch of us huddled around one beer bottle to try it. But
that one was arguably over oaked, and I don't think anyone will really disagree with me there. Garage Project fan or not. But that kind of got the ball rolling, and then it proved to be quite a popular style with Liberty, also of Auckland. Not to say Garage Project is in Wellington, of course, but we're getting very, very granular for our wee country here. They produced one called Prohibition. Porter, Prohibition Porter, and that went on to completely dominate our national beer judging for not one but 2 years in a row, and they still produce it, which I think is the only year in year out bourbon barrel aged one you can get, and I think it's actually even stronger than this. I think that's 12%. We really probably should get on that on the channel as well, because it is coming, as this one is, damned close to whiskey.
Yeah,
that one is
you
much
are
sweeter,
in fact
though.
a published beer critic in New Zealand, so your perspective on this carries.
Yeah, well, it means I get to see, particularly around judging season, I get to see all these beers.
Because you're way more of a technical focus on this, aren't you?
Come across
awareness
the
of the trends and what's new. Whereas I saw this on the shelf. It's been on my list for a while because of bourbon barrel and also being a Scotch ale. So I thought, hey, I'll grab it.
I think you lucked out there, because it's hugely different from the mould, which has been really treacly, sticky, sweet, hugely coconut and vanilla dominant from the wood. And even stronger than 10% as well. I think this is actually as strong as it might seem. This is a pretty reserved ABV for a bourbon barrel aged.
So I had a good time with that Renaissance Scotch ale we tried on the channel previously, which was a mere 7% ABV.
Yeah.
And this one, it's for its many strengths, its price was still very competitive, about in line with the average 6-pack of supermarket beer.
I think this is kind of a home run. I'm really loving this. This has solved one of the only problems I had with the other bourbon barrel aged beers. I think in going away from the stout/porter, which is the difference there is up for debate, but in either way diminishing, and going with the Scotch ale style, which allows them to bring that smoke in, they have solved the sweetness problem. They have cracked the nut. They have presented a strong wood-influenced beer that is not just cloying / sickening to drink.
Not too long in those bourbon barrels, then keeping it to a healthy.
I could, if I wanted to be an extremely stupid individual, pull this out, drink it in one go, and go, because it stays fresh, it stays live. I could not do
be
that.
3.9 standard drinks, which is
Two-thirds
of the way to
an
an
extremely stupid individual, but you could do it because there's nothing in here builds up and makes you go, ugh, like the sweetness of a lot of the other ones.
I like a very strong porter or a very sweet barrel matured stout and the like, but
the other thing it doesn't
there's
taste
too much
of,
of a good thing.
Yeah, the other thing it doesn't taste of is alcohol. I wouldn't know what I'd even drank.
Yeah.
I would have said, oh yeah, good, 6-7%. In the stone cutter Renaissance Scotch ale mould, nice smoke, nice and dry, and I would probably faintfully said, look what you can do with a slightly lighter alcohol bourbon barrel aged thing. You can make it so much more refreshing, so easy to drink, so much drier, and I would have had no clue that I was ingesting 4 standard drinks with my pint of this one.
In fairness to you, we are trying this on the tail end of having sampled several Scotch and 1 Australian single malt whiskies at up to barrel strength. So
I think you could come at me with this any time of day and I would have still been fooled. This is really it's not overbearing in any one element.
Well, I picked this up on a last-minute run to one of our many excellent local craft beer stores, Punky Brewster, right on the eve before our nationwide COVID-19 lockdown. So there was some readily available a few weeks ago. There's bound to still be some out there now. So
I can't believe you've made it last this thing.
Heck yeah, I would
have drunk it long ago if it was over in my place. But
no, it's definitely one to save it, to share it. So
No, well, I mean, if you're further afield internationally, I'm pretty sure you can find Behemoth. I don't know where they go out to.
They export to the USA
to
in limited quantities, I believe, or at least they did. I have some friends in the USA who are particularly keen to get a hold of some Behemoth controversially politically themed beers like
the Trump
the
range.
Trump IPA and Impeachment Peach Sour Ale. Sadly, those ones did not make it to the US shores. However, Behemoth are out there and consistently good.
Yeah, no, neat stuff, and I think that's enough rambling about beer for one day.
Goodness.
We will tie a bow around this particular session, and we will hopefully get back with some more distilling content as I run the second distillation of the rum wash that we distilled today, and we get genuine new make of a new New Zealand rum, never before seen, and then put it into wood and wait for age. So stay on your seat for that one. So we will retire now before we cause too much more damage to the internet, and be back very, very soon now that we are allowed with more whiskey goodness. Because we've got a bit of a backlog assembled.
Yeah, we even have a few holdovers from 2019.
Yeah,
so
no,
maybe dive into the archives.
Reach into the archives. I know
nonsense.
there's something still rattling around in there, so
I can sweep off the cutting room floor. Also, find us on Facebook, on Instagram. I'm on Twitter. Check us out if you like.
All right, well, we won't keep you any longer, Slanjo. I think that's still appropriate for this beer. And we will be right back with something else soon. Cheers.